Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the USO and YouTubers worldwide, as well as anybody who might be seeking to repair or modify their Xbox 360 or just breathe some new and or extra life into it. Today, in this video, this is video number 8. This video is a reshoot because the last time that I did this video, I hadn't fully thought through everything that I was talking about in the video, and I hadn't really prepared adequately, even though I had, I had this Xbox 360 completely taken apart, and also this Xbox 360 completely taken apart, and that Xbox 360 completely taken apart, and I was basically showing you their guts and, how to clean them, how to take them apart, and how to get in there and really get things done. This video is basically going to be completely centered around the DVD drive and everything that can and oftentimes does go wrong with it and how to fix it. In this video we're going to be covering the Generation 1 and Generation 2 Xbox 360s. However, because at my mother-in-law's request, because she bought the thing off of me, and when I told her that I was doing these videos and using her 360 as a teaching tool, she asked me to stop using it as a teaching tool. So I'm respecting her wishes, and this Xbox 360 Type S will no longer be torn down as a teaching aid. However, the good news is, and I'm also not going to tear down the silver one that you just saw because it took me forever to get it, Anyway, good news is I've got a spare drive. Why do I have a spare drive? Well, when I was initially shooting these videos, and I got to the DVD drive for that Xbox 360 that I pulled out in front of you, it was silver, and I showed that one to you. When I was initially taking that one apart and I took a look at the DVD drive because that one had a disk read error, I had not yet fully examined it to see what could be done to fix it. Now, during the course of this, I decided to hop online and see if there was anything that I could do about, maybe calibrating it correctly. And then I found out that there was actually a point of target circuit that can be very easily calibrated, which I'm going to show you how to do, as an extra little repair thing that you can do before we come to the conclusion that a new drive is what is needed. So, this drive was actually purchased before I had found that circuit. And so this drive is going to be the one that I use as the teaching tool. So for the sake of argument, we've got an entire Xbox 360 taken apart. We've gotten down to the DVD drive, and we are now doing surgery on it to figure out how to fix it, or maybe even what's wrong with it. So for the sake of argument, the first thing we're going to be tackling is an error with your DVD drive where it has a lack of an ability to actually read the discs properly that you put into it. So, where do we start? Well, we start by getting a screwdriver, because every single DVD drive that I have seen for the Xbox 360 uses these oh my goodness, that's a terrible looking hole, uses these lovely, very common Phillips head screws. So what do? We twist them out. For those of you who are thinking twist and shout, you are sadly mistaken. That's if you're at the beach. Or at a dance party. Whatever. Moving right along. So, we go ahead and we pull out all the screws. I have no idea if that physical damage on the case is indicative of anything wrong on the inside. We're going to find out in just a second here. Alright, so take out all 4 screws, and then you look around the seam. Oh, here's one. For any stickers, and there's another one that might be holding the 2 metal portions, the top and also the bottom plates together. And then all you do is you just go in there with your thumbnail or a really tiny knife and just cut them. They're not going to do anything. After that, you just take a careful grip up top, grab the legs, or hang on, I'm just going to point this down here now. Alright. Take the legs, make sure you put your fingers on a portion of the case here that had the screw in it, and then you will maybe hook your fingernails underneath it and then push down on the plastic leg. Oh, there we go. The bottom just fell off. Sometimes it'll happen. Other times it won't. Sometimes you have to wrestle it. Other times you just have to very gently convince it to come right off. Now then, this portion up top side, we don't mess with that. To clean it, I think I covered that in one of the other videos. But you just come in here with alcohol-soaked Q-tips, isopropyl alcohol, not vodka. Don't want to waste your vodka. But anyway. Alright, so there's the hole there on the inside. Let's see what was on the other side of that hole. A memory chip. But I don't see any damage on that memory chip, which tells me that this is okay. Alright, so something tells me this just got damaged in the process of manufacturing or in the process of refurbing, whatever. When we do surgery on the drive and we actually, if we have to replace the DVD drive, stuff like this, little aesthetic things like this are what I normally look for, and if there's something like this, then this panel right here is going to get replaced by the panel out of the old drive. Because when you replace a drive in an Xbox 360, it's a little bit of a mix and match party. Alright, so, here we go. Got the guts of the DVD drive right here in front of us. You got your main board, you've got your drive opening motor, you've got your DVD spinning motor, laser eye, and point of target laser assembly, which is these 2 little screw guys right here. Now, on some of them, I think on some of the models these might be epoxied closed, but what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to go and get my multimeter. We're going to measure those to make sure that they are set properly, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I've actually found a fantastic guide on how to do this stuff. And it says that the when you're doing your point of target circuit adjustments or calibrations, what you're going to want to do is take your multimeter, set it to 20 kiloohms. Okay, that's your ohms indicator there, and it's 20K. And once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're also going to get yourself a very tiny screwdriver or screwdriver head, okay? One that can actually get in there and adjust that circuit there, okay? Because you're going to be twisting it right and left very, 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 must emphasize here, very slightly. Now then, this particular fix is only good for solving disk read errors, okay? Now then, let's see, what does the guide say? The DVD point of target reading should be around about 3.4 kiloohms to 4.2 kiloohms. Okay? Now then, let's go ahead and take a look at that DVD point of target. Let's see what it reads. It reads 5.55, or wait, no, sorry. 5.54 kiloohms. So what do we need to do? And actually, commonly, it is between 4.2 and 6, so we should be okay. Yeah. So it's between 4.2 and 6. Don't ever take it below 4, because contrary to common sense, when you lower the reading of the point of target, what you're actually doing is you're increasing the power to the laser. Okay. Now, if you lower it past a certain reading, what you're actually going to run into is the risk of burning the disc itself, because that laser is going to have no resistance whatsoever, and you're also probably going to burn out the laser. So, when you do this, be very, very, very careful. All right, now enough chatter on that one. Let's get to some of the good stuff. Okay, so that's how you do your point of target stuff. Now then, the next part that I'm going to tell you is how to, let's say you've been working on it and the point of target fix didn't work. Let's say it still doesn't want to read disks. Let's say it's also refusing to open and close, and it's just giving you all kinds of issues. So what do you do next? Well, you hop online, you take the drive, you hop online, you make sure you still got this sticker right here, and then you match up all of these serial numbers here, okay? So you get the model number, the Microsoft part number, and the PVDS number, okay? And you match those to a new drive that you purchase off of Amazon or wherever you choose to go shopping for one. But you have to match all of those numbers, because this next fix requires that you buy exactly the same model of drive as, what you're replacing. Now, the reason why I say this is because this is the cheap way of doing it, okay? The expensive way of doing it is to go ahead and follow one of those other guides. And what every other guide out there will tell you is, once you have to replace your DVD drive, what you have to do is get another expensive piece of hardware, plug it into your computer, copy serial numbers, from the checksum ROM on the inside of the DVD drive and save those to your computer, and then unplug the old drive, plug in the new drive, and then dump that stuff onto the new drive after blanking out the new drive, and I could go blue in the face telling you all the different steps. But it's overcomplicated and it's too expensive. That's why I don't teach that. What I teach instead is basically performing a brain transplant on your DVD drive. Okay? Because this circuit board right here is the brain of the DVD drive. Alright? So, moving right along, how does this actually work? Well, it's very simple. If you get exactly the same model of drives to replace the old one, when you open them up, you're going to be looking at exactly the same picture. Okay? Except in this case. In this case, these wires are a little bit different. Not exactly what was in the old one when I opened that one up and took a look at it, but it's workable. It's workable. I can work with this. It's no issue. Alright. So, how do we perform this one? Well, it's actually quite simple. What you do is, let's say this is the old drive right now. Okay, so for the sake of argument, it's the old drive. You can't see the word new right there. It doesn't exist right now. And what you'll do is you will go ahead and you will unplug these two wires here that can be unplugged, or if there are more wires to be unplugged, you can unplug those. There's a couple of boards inside of the DVD drives that I saw where there were no wires that you had to cut at all. All you had to do was unplug, 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 and then lift the old board out, bring the new board over, lift the new board out, bring the old board over, put the old board in, and then plug everything back in. So if that's the picture that you're looking at, I am really jealous, because I have never, ever gotten to do that. That one is just a straight walk in the park, right there. It really is. It's a walk in the park. Alright, now then. So, let's say you're looking at the old one. What you'll do is you'll unplug these, and then with the wires that are actually soldered to the board, like you see right here, these shiny bits, okay? Shiny here, shiny there, means it's soldered on permanently. What you'll do is you'll measure out about 1 1/4 inches, and then you'll cut it at 1 1/4 inches. Yeah, just all the wires, 1.25 inch, just cut them, and then you look for any other tiny screws, which this one has 2 at the back. Take out all the screws, and then you unclip it, and then you take out the old board, and then you take the rest of the old drive and you just set it aside. And then you bring in the new drive, and then after you've got that one opened up, that's when you come in here with a Sharpie or something, and you just write on there, new, okay? That way you know which board is new and which board is old, okay? After that, what you do is you just go ahead and you disconnect these 2 wires, or whatever wires are disconnectable, you disconnect those, and then you come in here, and right at the solder points, you will take the new board, and let's say that this picture here with all of the different, let's just say this piece of paper here is the old board. What I do is I just take the old board and I set it down on top of the new board, and I start from right to left or left to right, doesn't really matter, but I go 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, each individual wire at a time, to make sure that I don't accidentally get any wires crossed. So, it's really simple. I come in, and then I cut the wire right here at the board, okay, and then I strip it back about 1/4 inch, okay, back to about here. And then what I do is I do a simple hook and twist, which I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Do a hook and twist. A hook and twist, when you're soldering something, is the simplest method of soldering that is possible to be done. Okay? It really is. And there's no simpler solder job out there. At least not, well actually no, there is a simpler one. It's just a straight twist, but it's not as strong. A hook and twist is stronger. So anyway, so you've stripped your wires, okay, and what you do, you take wire number 1, you hook it, like so, just a quick little right angle, take wire number 2, and you hook it also, just like so, and then you take them, and then you hook them together, like so, okay. Afterwards, fold them over individually, like so, so that now they're hooked together, and then you twist them together real good. And that should be that. Alright, now then, once it is hooked and twisted, if you've got heat shrink tube, what you'll do before that, because I just messed up, is you'll take your heat shrink tube and you'll put it on there. Your heat shrink tube is important because it's an insulator and it prevents cross-circuiting or short-circuiting, if you want to use that term, between 2 of your contacts on the inside. But anyway, once you've got that hooked and twisted together, what you'll do is you'll come in with your soldering iron and some solder. Yeah, I know, it requires a soldering iron. I said that earlier. But you come in with a soldering iron, take your little bit of solder, you get this on the soldering iron, then you just hit it with some solder. That's it. And once you've melted the solder in there, and once it's nice and shiny, you just take the soldering iron off, let it cool off, and then you slide that heat shrink tube onto it, and then you hit it with a lighter, and the heat shrink tube will shrink down. It doesn't actually twist, it just shrinks. And then you're done with that particular wire. But anyway, you will then do this for each individual wire. Once that's done, you go ahead and you unbolt the old the old board, unbolt the new board, pull the new board out, put the old board in place, bolt it down, plug everything in that needs to be plugged in, put the case parts back on it, close it up, voila, done. You've just performed DVD drive brain surgery, or brain replacement surgery. After that, you can just go ahead and throw it back into your 360 and fire it up, because this completely bypasses the need to copy anything onto your computer or any of that garbage, because you've just taken the old board that has that data that the motherboard wants, and you've put it into the new drive. So now the new drive has all the same information as the old drive, because electrically it's the same drive. Okay? So, the old brain will live on. in a new body. Once that's done, it should work perfectly. If you have any issues after that, man. If performing brain transplant surgery on the DVD drive does not work, then you have my deepest condolences, because beyond what I've just told you, I can't help you. If it's still not working, it's dead, Jim. It's dead because of the DVD drive. I mean, you can still do downloaded games on it, like you can hit the Xbox Live Store and download games onto the hard drive and play them that way. But as far as throwing a disc in, I'm sorry, it'll never happen, ever again. I'm sorry. So, moving right along. Now then, earlier I said that I'm not going to be popping open and doing anything with my mother-in-law's Xbox 360. That still holds true. But it's okay, I can still show you the issue that I was going to show you with this one. And it's kind of simple. What it is there's a particular issue that you can get sometimes with the Xbox 360S drives that I've had to fix, thankfully, only once. And that issue is that sometimes the drive will get stuck half open and half closed. So I'm just going to go ahead and illustrate that for you real quick by jimmying this one open just a touch. If I can find the gear to do it. There it is. Never mind. It does not want to play. Let's see what this does. Nope, there we go. Alright, so let's say that your DVD drive is stuck half open and half closed, okay? Or just even a quarter open. And when you press the button, it will sit there and go eee at you and do nothing, okay? And putting pressure on it to try and close it doesn't do anything because it's just not going to budge. And trying to pull it out doesn't do anything because it's just not going to budge. Alright, so what do? Well, you go ahead and you take the case parts off, or the metal parts off, and then what you're going to have to do is very, very carefully pop the tray out. I'm going to see if I can manage to do that right now without accidentally breaking anything, because this thing was actually kind of expensive. I say kind of. It was actually more cheap than it was expensive, to tell you the truth. But does not mean that I will be any less inconvenienced should it break. Alright, let's see here if I can just yeah, buddy. There we go. Didn't even damage it. Awesome. Alright. So, here's what you're looking at on the inside. Got your gears. Zoom in there for you. And on your gears, similar to your car, there is a method of timing. This arrow right here needs to be pointing, I believe, and actually the great thing is that once this thing, the only thing that actually causes this thing to close and latch is this sideways portion right here, okay? The sideways portion here is what raises and lowers the spindle portion, okay? As long as this sideways portion is all the way over and disengaged from those gears, because it gets engaged by the tray sliding into place, as long as that's all the way over, you can go ahead and play with the timing on this to get it to where it needs to be. So what do? Go ahead and hold that over there. And we get the timing, which is on this guy right here, so that he is pointing straight into the gear next to him. Just like so. Okay? Afterwards, what do? Well, that's actually very, very simple. Take the tray, like so. Look at your grooves very carefully. Look at your catch. There's the catch. You look at your DVD drive very carefully, and you pay attention to your posts. Okay? And what you do now is you make sure that the portion here is slid all the way over and disengaged from the rest of the gears, and then you very, very carefully, let's see if I can do this. Alright, line it up like so. Alright, and then we just shove it into place. Boom, there it is. And it is lovely, and it is sublime, and it is perfect, and the timing is now fixed, and it will now open and close perfectly from now on. And if you don't believe me, watch this. I can actually access that horizontal slider doohickey, because I don't know the proper name for it, right here. Okay. It's better than searching for the Jimmy switch. Whatever. Design flaw, if you ask me. Yeah. Because there's no way of hitting it through the metal right there. There needs to be, in my opinion. Which actually, that is something that they fixed on the 360 Type S. On the 360 Type S, if you ever have to jimmy the drive open, it's actually done. Where is it? You're going to see a yellow dot. See if I can get that on camera for you. There it is. Yellow dot right there. So what you're going to do is, you're actually going to need to go ahead and... Nope, you can actually access that. Let me show you. You can access that right through the plastic grate, so you don't even have to pull anything off. You take your paper clip, and then there it is. Boom. And this is one that I've already fixed. So, that's how you do that. But anyhow, so there you go. See? Perfect. No issues. Alright, well, it is my genuine hope that you found this instructional video to be instructive and informative and entertaining. I know it kind of jumps around a bit and pops around a bit. That's because I messed up and I didn't do it all in one single take. Do I wish I could have done it in one single take? Yeah, but this is what I get for not rehearsing. Anyhow, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will try to get around to them. On average, I check the comment section about once a week, sometimes more if I'm not off doing things. Anyhow, alright, have fun.